Yeah.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 180 of season 4. My name is Brian Bacchus, one of your co hosts.
I'm Jamal Smith, another co-host, and we have rounding out
Tony
the
Bailey
trio.
Rains. Tony Bailey Rains. Hey, y'all. Good morning.
That's right,
Happy
T.
Tuesday.
Oh yeah, I
This is a
appreciate
special Tuesday because it's a Talk About It Tuesday. So we're
it. Is
going
it
to
talk
talk
about it
about it.
or is it
Oh,
take a
take a
break?
break. Sorry.
Take a break Tuesday. We finna
Take
take
a
a
break.
break.
And I'm looking right at the words right here in this title right there.
It's
And I'm
all
saying,
good.
let's talk about it. Because I'm going talks. Tony talks. Tony talks about taking a break today.
So the reason why we came up with this is because, unfortunately, once again, Brian was having some issues with his tech, and we didn't have anybody on today. Didn't have anything in particular to talk about. We will do the announcements, but I had a feeling that through just like we always call this organic show, something was going to come up, and we will probably, fill some space with some time. Actually, I do have something I want to bring up, and I want you to talk about it. But I'm gonna do
Morning,
the
Marcus.
yeah. Morning, Marcus. What's up, Brunson? My Brunson brother cousin. Um, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the announcements, and then we'll see what happens after that. All right, here we go. This is the full version, so it's gonna be a while. If y'all walk away, just listen closely, because when we come back, if you're not there, I'm gonna say you abandoned me again. No, I'm just playing. Here we go.
I'm on mute listening.
Here we go. All right, we're gonna go for the whole shaboing boing. Let me remove these banners so we can see everything. What's all that background noise? Anyway, we had.
What do you hear?
I hear it
That's
sounds like
Brian.
she's moving.
Yeah,
Like
because I was on mute.
I told you earlier, I said I hear something, but y'all said y'all couldn't hear it. So,
We
well,
couldn't,
we
now
couldn't hear
can.
you.
so if I put on mute, can you hear it?
Nope.
No, if you're on mute.
All right, here we go. So the Altadena Community Center is serving.
I'll do anything for the numbers, as you guys know. So I'm going to mute this so that we can have a great show. No, you can't hear it now, huh?
All I heard was you. No, I don't hear it now.
Oh, perfect.
All right.
Welcome to the show.
Altadena Community Center serving as their survivor support location at 730 East Altadena Drive in Altadena, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can actually meet with the folks at SBA, DCBA, Treasurer and Tax Collector, and Assessor's Office. There is still a way to reach out to FEMA if you're interested. They have contact information. If you scan the QR code, and if you have questions about who is actually going to be up there, you can call 626-398-6174. And then we do continue to have the LA County One-Stop Permit Center located at 464 West Woodbury Road, Suite 210 in Altadena. You can walk on in Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. You can also set up a rebuild consultation appointment on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. or Saturdays from 8 a.m. to noon. You can also set up an appointment for Southern California Edison Planner or with the Southern California Edison Planner Mondays and Wednesdays from 8 a.m. to noon. And you do have to go to the following website to schedule that appointment. It's recovery.lacounty.gov/rebuilding/1-stop-permit-centers. And then LA County is providing waivers or refunds of the permit fees for some homeowners rebuilding after the Eaton and Palisades fires. For the most part, homeowners who have already paid their fees, they can potentially be refunded, and those who have not yet paid their fees may be able to have their fees waived. To qualify, you do have to be able to demonstrate that you both owned and lived in your property prior to the 7th of January. In addition, there's only select projects which are eligible, one of which is the replacement of your single family home, which was destroyed by either of the fires. And that actually does include accessory structures such as ADUs, garages, and pools. It does also include standalone ADUs used for temporary occupancy during the rebuilding phase. What's not eligible, though, are commercial properties, rentals, multifamily, or temporary housing projects, in addition to those properties that are not damaged by the fire. Now, should you be interested in getting a fee waiver or refund, you do have to fill out a form, and you can fill out the form get to the form by scanning the QR code or going to the website recovery.lacounty.gov/fee-waivers-and-refunds. Once you get to that form, you can fill it out online and then include it as an attachment via email and send that to recovery@planning.lacounty.gov. Or you can print up a copy and walk it into the office. The nice thing is you only need one form because it covers all departments. I think the CalAssist Mortgage Fund is still going on. It's providing 3 months of mortgage payments up to a maximum of $20,000. It's free to apply and it doesn't have to be repaid. If you qualify for the grant, it is actually paid directly to your mortgage servicer. Now, to be eligible, your primary residence must have been destroyed or considered uninhabitable due to either the Eaton or Palisades fire or any other qualified disaster between the 1st of January of 2023 through the 8th of January of 2025. You also have to be owned and occupy the home with up to 4 units on the property, and you also have to meet the income limits of $140,700. If you do apply, please be prepared to provide mortgage statements, bank statements, utility bills, homeowners insurance or FEMA claims, and as well as proof of income. And you can actually apply directly at the website calassistmortgagefund.org. There's a link at the top that says apply. And if you need assistance with filling this out, you can get help over the phone by calling 800-501-0019 Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. In addition, if you need some in-person help, there are 2 locations you can get this. One is the One Stop Rebuilding Center at 1828 Sawtell Boulevard in LA. Also at the Altadena Community Center at 730 East Altadena Drive in Altadena. You can get this in-person help from the folks at Neighborhood Housing Services Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And again, just want to share the fact that every Monday and Tuesday, Freedom Shop for Eaton Fire Survivors is available. It is from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Harambe, which is located at 1609 Navarro Street in Pasadena. Some of the items that are available vary from toiletries to home essentials and much, much more. In order to participate in this, though, you do need to register by scanning the QR code or by going to the website tinyurl.com/Harambe Freedom Store, all in caps. Now, Hope Now CRC has weekly talks. This could potentially be helping out for some mental health, and it just gives you an opportunity to talk. This is going to be located at 1800 North Lake Avenue in Pasadena. Each of these events start from 6 p.m. and last till 7:30. On Mondays, it's Men Talk Monday. It's a safe and supportive space for men to share, learn, and grow together. On Wednesdays, it's Women's Talk Wednesdays, hosted by Mia Williams, Foothill Family Encouragement. It opens conversations and tools for women. And then on Thursdays, it's Teen Talk Thursdays. This week's focus is LGBTQ and plus teens, hosted by Alex Harvey, Foothill Family and Supportive Community Space for teens to be heard and connected. So it says, come as you are and leave even greater with Revived Hope. Sign up online 24 hours in advance to ensure space and as a courtesy to the guests. You can go to info@hopenowcrc.org or you can visit the website at www.hopenowcrc.org. The LA Fire Justice is continuing their ongoing workshop series designed to provide a roadmap and answer your questions about the rebuilding process. Their next installment is today, September 23rd. They're going to be discussing designing your future home and plans. This will actually be at the new location of the Altadena Coalition at 409 East Woodbury Road in Altadena. Opening remarks begin at 6:30. Then at 6:45, the guest speaker will begin, followed by Q&A at 7:30 p.m. LA Fire Justice also, I still forgot to do the link. Sorry, guys. Every Wednesday, they have a Ask an Attorney. It's Eaton Fire virtual office hours. It begins at 4:30 p.m. Pacific time. Obviously, if you're on the East Coast, it's 3 hours later, 7:30 p.m. It's no cost, no appointment necessary. You can actually go to lafirejustice.com and actually get that information there. Go to their event section. You'll be able to see this. And eventually, I'll put the code up there. But this is every Wednesday, so definitely check them out. September Rebuild Social at the Good Neighbor Bar is actually going to be tomorrow, Wednesday, September 24th, from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. at the Good Neighbor Bar located at 2311 Lincoln Avenue. This community event is free with limited capacity. Reserve your spot today by scanning the QR code right there on the screen. And the last of the free concert installments at Washington Park will be Wednesday, the 24th, and that the artist will be the Great American Songbook and Classic Rock with Anne Louise Christensen. And this is actually going to be at Washington Park, which is 700 East Washington Boulevard, beginning at 5:30 p.m. To register, visit PasadenaVillage.org, or you can scan the QR code or call 626-765-6037. And tomorrow is another installment of Juicy Little Finds Thrift Stores event called We Out Here. And it's the We Out Here Market.
We out here.
It's every Wednesday from 12 to 3 p.m. at world famous Fair Oaks Burger, located at 2560 North Fair Oaks in Altadena. Please make sure you bring your IDs so you can prove that you're from Altadena. So you can get some of these free items such as free farmers markets, vegan hot meals, groceries, high-end products, thrift store pop-up, legal advice, love and prayer, and much, much more. And also, they ask that you bring your own bag. And if you want more information, please go to juicylittle.org. LA Fire Justice, again, has another event. It is an Eaton Fire Town Hall. It'll include Chris Holden and attorneys Doug Boxer, Michael Watts, and Rico Reyes. It'll be this Thursday, September 25th at the Salvation Army. That's located at 960 East Walnut Street in Pasadena. There will be a dinner that begins at 6 o'clock. The presentation will begin at 6:30, followed by Q&A at 8 p.m. And then Soul to Soul and Jazzy Jam for Empowerment. Soul to Soul Solutions and Jazzy Jams for Empowerment in association with the Paseo present jazz at the Paseo Summer Series. This latest event is actually going to be this Thursday, September 25th from 6:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. They're celebrating Alta and Pasadena. And there's also a happy birthday celebration to Wayne Lindsay and all other Libras out there, plus a special tribute to Frankie Beverly and Mays featuring TJ Wilkins. This is located at 300 East Colorado Boulevard in Pasadena, and it's going to be in the courtyard out there with the Guy Black being the host from KJLH. Was Toni wanting to say something? Is that why she brought the image in?
Nope.
Oh,
You know I be touching stuff on accident. I was trying to put my avatar up and I touched the wrong thing.
I got you. So some of the artists that are going to be there are Sunwoa Love, Asia Ray, God, and Lynn Fidmont. So that should actually be really cool. Now, the Altadena Chamber of Commerce and Civic Association is now accepting applications for the Altadena Business Recovery Grant Program Round Number 2. This is for Altadena businesses and nonprofits only. The grants are available for amounts from $500 to $1,500. For more information, please scan the QR code or go to the website, AltadenaChamber.org. Now, the deadline for the applications is September 26th. So that will be Friday. So definitely get your applications in if you're interested. And the Here Lay a Home exhibition, this is the last week. It actually ends with a closing ceremony on the 28th, which is Sunday of this week. This is going to be at the Armory Center for the Arts, located at 145 North Raymond Avenue in Pasadena. Now, the hours are as follows. Fridays are from 2 to 6 p.m. and Saturdays and Sundays are from 1 to 5 p.m. So please check this out if you haven't had a chance. Support the young adults in the area that are turning disaster into art and sharing and expressing themselves in an amazing way. And then we have Chris Holden's 26th Annual Community Resource Fair and Block Party, which will be this Saturday, the 27th, from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. in the 500 block of East Jackson Street in Pasadena. Again, it's between El Molino and Los Robles. And it's hosted by LA Fire Justice. You actually will be able to see, they'll have a bunch of resources up there in addition to local businesses that are going to be sharing their wares. We will be up there. A couple members of AltadenaTalks we're going to represent, and should be a good time. So if you get a chance, please stop by. And then Action Altadena Rebuild Fair Take 2 is going to be on this Sunday, September 28th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's going to be at Victory Park, located at 2575 Paloma Street in Pasadena. Join them, bring your family, be part of the supportive Altadena community as they rebuild. I look forward to seeing you there. And if you are a vendor who would like to participate, there's a link there for you to register. Again, it's kind of long. I'm not going to read it. Sorry. And then the Pasadena Senior Center's next community care event is going to be discussing property taxes and the Eaton fire, what you need to know, presented by the county assessor, Jeff Prang. This is actually going to take place on Monday, September 29th at 1 p.m. There'll be grocery cards available with as long as you can prove that you had lost your property in a fire. And this is located at 85 East Holly Street in Pasadena. So if you get a chance, definitely check it out there if you have questions about property taxes related to the fire. And then Altadena Small Business Market, Altadena Chamber of Commerce, and Mariposa Junction are seeking Altadena small businesses, artists, and makers who sell goods, wares, and experiences for the Altadena Small Business Market. This is actually they're also encouraging local youth groups to apply as well. Now, this is going to take place on November 29th from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. It is a Saturday. It's going to be located on Mariposa Street between Lake and El Molino. However, for vendors, the deadline is September 30th, which is, next Tuesday. So please scan the QR code if you're interested in being a vendor. And we're going to round out the announcements today with our AltadenaTalks Foundation event. It's join us for a special event. The AltadenaTalks Foundation presents a Day of Thanks. It's a community luncheon. It's going to be Saturday, November 22nd. And although it says the year is 2022, we know it's 2025. It'll be from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Loma Alta Park Gym, located at 3330 North Lincoln Avenue in Altadena. Please RSVP by scanning the QR code. And as we go through this, just let me know if you're having any issues scanning the code, and we could potentially enlarge it, because we did enlarge it now. But I believe it should be fine.
Jamal,
Yeah.
you messed that up and put 2022?
Yeah, apparently I did.
Nope, I did. I just changed it. That's hilarious.
I just noticed it when I read it, and I have everybody back. Of course.
So hilarious.
Put that QR code back up there. I want to see if I can get on the phone.
Yeah. Here we go. Were you able to?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, man. Let me bring us back in. Excellent. We like this. All right, so here's the thing that I wanted to bring up, Toni. I wanted to hear, because I know you had brought it to our attention a while ago.
Okay.
And it was about the Southern California Edison's proposal, their program. Just wanted your take on it. I don't know if you heard what I had mentioned on Friday about a conversation I had with an attorney and their interpretation of it.
I did not hear what you said, but my thoughts on it are, hold on. How do I take my avatar off? See, this is why I can't be back here doing stuff, because I'll mess up. Oh, I got to go under my camera. Okay, there. Hi. All over the place.
Okay.
So I think it's twofold. I think that for homeowners, unless you were uninsured or underinsured, if you were insured, it's not a good option for you, because they're going to multiply by square footage, all of that, and then it's an offset to your insurance. So if your insurance paid you $800,000, $700,000, $900,000, whatever, then based on your square footage and their multiplication, they're going to say they would give you $600,000, right? And your insurance paid you $800,000. They're going to subtract that 6 from that 8, and you're going to get $200,000. So for homeowners who are insured, to me, that's nothing for the value of your actual home and what was in it. And then each adult, $100,000. So that would add another $200,000 on top of that too. And that's for pain and suffering, right? Or the trauma. When you're looking at people like my parents who have been in the home 57 years, Brian's mother-in-law who's been up there 70 years, whatever, right? People that have been there decades, not to minimize somebody who has been there for 10 years, but decades. This was their whole entire life, and they're in their hundreds, 90s, 80s, 70s. To say that their pain and suffering is valued at $100,000, that's shenanigans to me. That's not a penny per day that they've lived there, right? And so that's an insult as far as I'm concerned. And then again, they've lost their whole home. It could have been valued at $2 million. And if insurance paid, it's never going to be exactly what it was worth. But if insurance did pay $800,000 as a total loss or whatever, but the real value was $2 million, and then Edison, you say, based on 1,500 square feet or whatever, how they do that calculation, that adds up to about 900. If insurance paid 800 and you're going to give somebody 900, you subtract that, you have now valued their property at $100,000, and for each adult, $100,000 for pain and suffering or trauma. So again, to me, that's an insult. And I would tell anyone who is a homeowner, litigate. Don't play with them, because this proposal, whatever, is a joke when it comes to that. If you were a renter and you did not own a property at all, it wasn't yours by deed, you were renting, whether you rented the whole house, a room, half the house, or whatever, it may be beneficial because you didn't lose the structure, right? It might have been the dwelling that you were living in, and it's not, this is my opinion, and it's not to minimize that you had a home you lived in, but technically, because you weren't the owner of it, you can't get what the full value would be anyway, right? Because it was not your own structure. Even if you were 10 years into paying a mortgage, it wasn't your mortgage. But you have pain and suffering and trauma, and all your stuff is gone, right? So that one, they say they may, for renters or somebody underinsured or uninsured, give like a $200,000 cap, and then your pain and suffering for each adult or whatever, right? So that might be another 100,000. You may walk away with 300,000 and have the ability to buy a house or a lot, and build on it. So, and not to again minimize that all the value of all your stuff in the home you were residing in wasn't valued at 200,000, and your pain and suffering is only worth 100,000. But that's the way they've calculated it, and that's what it winds up being from me personally as a person reading it. And then for those that are uninsured or severely underinsured, right? They had a home paid off, they owned it, but they didn't have insurance on it anymore. It may be beneficial if you walk away with 900,000, because if you didn't have insurance, and that calculation that they have has it at a $1,500 square foot home valued at like 600,000, plus another 10% on top of that, plus the 100,000 for each adult or whatever, you may walk away with 900,000, $1 million, right? So I think for uninsured people, severely underinsured people, renters, that claim program might be okay or beneficial for them, right? And even if you had an attorney and you were in those categories, they're going to give another 10% for your attorney, what it would be. So potentially for those categories of people, the way I read it, it potentially may be beneficial. But to me, for a homeowner, it's a slap in the face. It's a gut punch. It's an insult. Get yourself an attorney. That's how I feel after I read the entire 27 pages last week.
Yeah, that's I think it's a common point of view. The conversation that I had with the attorney kind of said pretty much the same thing.
Okay,
bottom line is right, but the bottom line is, hey, because everybody's scenario is different. If you can wait, then wait and do your own litigation. And in particular, what I was it was clarification for me. Many probably already knew this, but I was under the impression that there was class action suits related to this. But individual I know court. That's what I'm saying. That's what I know. But that's why I was saying that it was clarified for me then that it's what do they call major torts?
Individual torts as a large major tort, right?
Mass tort, major tort, whatever the word was, because everybody's home is so unique. Most class action suits is where everybody is in a very similar situation. I don't know what that is. It sounds like something's just, I don't know. It's weird.
Shuffling and a heartbeat at the same time.
They want to attract people because they're looking to pay out quickly. Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. So the bottom line is, if you can wait. If you're the homeowner, and obviously if you're a renter, it might make perfect sense for you to do that. But the main key is, once you take this, there is no other litigation you can use against them. And one of the things that was brought up is the potential.
Once you settle and sign off on what they offer, correct?
Right. But what was brought up was what potentially could happen because of the soil issues 5 to 10 or more years later. If people don't actually clear off their lots, they may get some sickness that can be tied to that. And if they took a settlement, they're not going to be able to, get any sort of compensation for that. Whereas if they went through regular litigation, well, it depends on the details of their settlement once they ultimately go through litigation. But they might not, or they'll be in a better position to potentially still have a case if they get sick later, and it can be tied to that. But the bottom line, get an attorney, learn all the options, and if you can wait. Otherwise, do what you got to do, because we know everybody is in their own unique situation.
Yeah,
but that was the only subject I wanted to bring up.
Yeah, I think that's 100% right. And thank you, Jamal, for letting me know you spoke with an attorney who said basically what I said. Oh, man. I'm sorry. I just got a notification of the 2026 finalists for the Rose Court. And there is only one Black girl this year. And the bulk of them are Asian this year. So Muir and HS and all the local schools, y'all better get our girls prepped and ready. Because that's not acceptable.
So kind of,
and the majority of the schools are La Cañada, LaSalle, all these private schools.
What does La Cañada have to do with Pasadena?
Right. We got to work on making sure our girls are prepped and ready. Seriously. Because I'm looking at the picture right now on the Star News, and it is one of us.
Right.
So we need to, usually there's 5 or 6 and they dwindle them down. But yeah. Most of them are Flint Ridge Prep, Flint Ridge, Sacred Heart, South Pasadena. What is she even doing in it? LA County High School for the Arts.
Interesting.
What? Mayfield, Gabrielino High School.
Never even.
Like, they just let any and everybody apply now. San Marino, La Cañada, Temple City,
That's
Polytech, LaSalle, Arcadia, San Marino, Pasadena, Temple City. They need to put parameters back on it. Because now Alhambra High School, come on now. And the only one of us is Naira Elaine Wadley from John Muir High School. That's the only Black girl. Everybody else is literally South Pasadena, La Cañada. Yeah, we got to make sure our Pasadena schools are up and through there, because it didn't. They letting the entire San Gabriel Valley and then some try out, apparently.
It doesn't make sense for the Pasadena.
It doesn't, because it's never been that.
Anyway. Yeah, we got to address that and maybe bring that up.
Yeah, we get for real. Because if you look at that court picture, yeah, that's not okay. Anyway, we were talking about the settlement, right?
Yeah, but just circling back to that program, remember it's a proposed program. It's not set in stone. As a result, they actually are having community input workshops. The first 2 are virtual sessions. Now, if you want to go to the website, it is a simple website. It is energize.edison.com.
Oh yeah, Energize.
Basically, hold on, let me actually.
I had it up. Remember before we started the show, I had like 100 windows open and I closed a bunch.
Yeah.
There were about 6 of those open because I had them all open reading it. And I finally closed it. Like, this is foolish. I still have way too many open. Oceana Cruises.
The bottom line is there's one on this Thursday at 7 p.m. It's virtual. There's one on Friday. That's at 9 a.m., which is also virtual. Then there'll be one on Saturday, the 27th, at Loma Alta Gym at 10 a.m. And then Monday, September 29th at 7 p.m., also at Loma Alta Gym. So get a chance, voice your opinion, get some interpretation from the folks that are there, because I'm sure people are going to ask those questions like, what happens if this, what happens if that. And also, if you do go to this website, there's a Q&A section, or rather an FAQ section, which actually answers quite a bit of the questions that you probably would have. But definitely participate in this if you have questions and want to, get those questions asked. If you got concerns, just get on out there. What is it? The criteria is to be white. No, white suitor.
Yeah, I know. My daughter is part of the T of R. But we, folks in Pasadena, Altadena, obviously this year, probably a lot of our girls haven't gone through all the extra stress. But it used to be the bulk of us, right? Now it's all these expanded areas, and we need to make sure that we are doing what we need to with our local girls so that they and depending on who's on the board, right? Hold on, I got a call. Yeah, we need to make sure we know like who's on the board and what they represent, because I know quite a few of them. And like I said, my daughter's a white suitor and she's been it for I want to say maybe 5 years now. since she became one. And one year she was down where they line them up on Orange Grove all night. And last year she did some of the walking, I think, or she was at the bridge, maybe. Yeah, I think she was at the turnstile on the bridge. Maybe it's her third or fourth year. But yeah, they have different assignments each year. And each year that you stay on, you kind of go up the ranks in the assignments.
Yeah, Marcus is a white suitor. He's been doing it for a while.
Yeah.
Did you? I think he was on a scooter this past year.
Marcus was on a yeah. So he knows.
So.
Yeah, you go up. She hasn't done a scooter yet. She probably, when it gets to that point, won't, because she doesn't like bikes and scooters and stuff like that.
Well, we should definitely just understand the criteria and how it's actually working now. Because I mean, obviously, I'm not used to seeing such a wide variety of different schools outside of Pasadena be represented.
Exactly.
But hey, if that's what it is, I mean, I want to know.
So we've always had all the Pasadena. Arcadia was kind of always included in La Cañada from even the time that I tried out when I was at Muir, and when my daughter tried out when she was at Muir in 2012, 14, whenever she tried out, and she made it 3 rounds, and then got to the finalist, and right before that got cut. But and Raymond Coombs is on the board, and a bunch of people that I know. But the fact is, they've added all these extras now, like South Pass and Temple City, and they weren't always part of it. And I think they keep expanding it, maybe to get a greater pool. But then it kind of takes from T of R, right, being these local girls. It used to be primarily just local, but Arcadia and Sierra Madre were always included, and so is La Cañada. So we've had people from La Cañada High, we've had people from Fasha, and all of that always. But now, like Temple City, Los Angeles High School of the Arts, they're just basically like whoever in Southern California wants to try out can try out. So that's why I say we need to figure out what the parameters really are, and probably be over there knocking on their door like, hey, what are you doing? Right? Because they just got any and everybody now. And I don't know that that's okay. But that's my opinion. Because is it the Pasadena Tournament of Roses or Southern California Tournament of Roses? And we just want any and everybody from SoCal to audition and try out.
I'm sure there's some rationale with whatever they got, but to understand it, I think, is the key. And if we have questions and want to make changes, we definitely present those.
Definitely.
Cool. Well, I actually hope people actually, take the time to go to these virtual workshops or, go to the actual events, the live events. And you know what? The website is actually this. Here, I'm going to put it in there. Copy. Banner. Create a banner. All right. It's this right here. SCE.com/direct claims updates. When you go to that link, and I'll put it in the comments as well. That'll actually take you to the page where I was before, where you can see the different updates, the different workshops. And then if you click on register, that'll actually allow you to, takes you to a specific page for you to register for those events.
So they have to live or work within 25 miles of Pasadena City Hall.
25.
Oh, well, that you can take that all the way to Cerritos almost.
25 miles. I just pulled it up. To try out, you must live in or attend school full-time in the Pasadena area is what it says. So LA High School of the Arts is not. That's
you 25 miles from Pasadena?
But then, no, I'm sorry. To try out, you must live in or attend high school full-time in the Pasadena area. But what's considered the Pasadena area? It says for prospective volunteers, you must live or work within 25 miles of Pasadena City Hall. So for the Rose Court application residency requirements, be a full-time resident and a senior in high school within the Pasadena Area Community College District. So I'm going to look up what that is, because I might have to do a protest with the T of R for some of these kids that are not in the Pasadena Area Community College District. I'm going to look at the map.
Yeah, I'm sure that district is big. for
Well,
PCC.
we're gonna see.
Yeah, I mean, everybody listed that you
Does
listed is within that.
PCC have a district? That's a college.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, it's
colleges
not
have
like
districts.
no.
Okay,
There's a
so
certain outreach.
it goes down to East San Gabriel, Temple City, Rosemead, Arcadia, East Pasadena, Pasadena, Altadena, Sierra Madre, South Pass, and La Cañada, Flint Ridge. But Alhambra and San Gabriel aren't in there. And where this other thing is aren't in there, but it's girls that are in the finalists that aren't in the district in high school. So that's an issue. If they have that requirement, but they're in high schools or whatever that are not in that community college district, that's an issue. Gabrielino High School, Los Angeles County High School for the Arts, South Pass High School's in the district, Caltech is in there. There's a girl that goes to Caltech. LaSalle College Prep, Polytech, that's in there. Temple City High, that's in there. San Marino is not part of the district. But there's a young lady. Oh, I'm sorry, it is. It's right on the cusp. I'm sorry, because it's South Pass. Take that back, y'all.
We're gonna talk the Tournament of Roses.
That's what I'm saying. Eagle Rock High School, that's in the district. South Pass, San Marino, PCC. Okay, there's a girl in PCC.
Just being educated again. I didn't know any of this.
Yeah, no, me either. And that's why it's good to look it up and find out, right? But LA County and Gabrielino High School, those aren't, because Gabrielino's in what? San Gabriel or Alhambra?
Yeah, I don't know. I already put that one up.
Huh?
I was telling B I had posted that already.
But each of them, like PCC has a district. Citrus College, Community College has a district.
Glendale, Mount Sac,
exactly. They all have these districts, and so they have to live within the PCC district, or go to school in the PCC district. It says, live in or attend school full time. So the Gabrielino girl might live in the district and go to a different high school. I don't know. I'm gonna give that benefit of the doubt, and then. LA County High School for the Arts, Madeline Shea, she may live in the PCC district too. But if not, those two shouldn't be part of the finalists. So I'm assuming they live in the district, but they go to school outside of.
They got to meet the criteria somehow.
Right. Mm-hmm. But back to my point about it, I think that we need to do a better job of prepping our girls, especially at the high schools that are part of Pasadena Unified, because this is the Pasadena Tournament of Roses, right? So if we have girls from the Pasadena Unified School District that are not trying out or are not qualifying to make the cut and go, further along, granted, we've had tons on the court and queens and all that, right? Allison, Christina, all that. But now there's less and less of us from our community on this court, and that to me is an issue. We need to make sure our girls are qualified and prepped and ready to try out and know how to answer the questions and are poised and all of that, because if not, in a minute we're not going to have anybody from the Pasadena Unified School District that is on this court. And it should
that risk. Yeah, I don't think it'll ever be completely gone, but we definitely run the risk. We see it dwindling. Part of it is enrollment. But part of it is enrollment, because a lot of people do not go to, ironically, PHS, which is the city school, and Muir has actually come back.
Right.
Marshall. I don't know what their population is, but it's relative to PHS and Muir, I think it's been a little more stable, and Blair is the one that's always fluctuated as well. So
I thought they were closing Blair.
I don't know. They've been closing Blair for years, so I'm not sure.
Well, even Marshall, there's been girls on the quarter that tried out and made it pretty far from Marshall, exactly. And I don't even see any of them on the list. So that's what I'm saying.
They may not have.
I think the closures of schools have been put on hold because of the fires. And they never know what they might need for room, because they just opened up Wilson, and it was supposed to be sold to Pasadena Poly for 5 years.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Well, good thing they didn't.
Hey, that's why we got to hold on to this real estate. Be playing around. Our kids need us, our support.
You know what would be really great is if people like Allison Moses and Christina and others that have been on the court in more recent years hold something within PUSD to make sure that our girls are qualified and prepped and ready, because there's a certain, obviously your academics and your extracurricular and all of those things, but the poise, the etiquette, the interview type questions and how do you answer them. And so we've got previous court members and queens that could be doing that to ensure that our PUSD girls who think that they want to try out for this, try out and that they're ready, and so that they can make the cut and keep our PUSD girls on the court, because otherwise it's going to be all the outside schools, even if they live within the area, but they're all the outside schools. And we do need to make sure that our girls and PCC, right? Because there's only one on here from PCC, are ready to go. And they have flavor and color. You know, I was mad a few years back. I think it was when my daughter tried out and kept making the cuts. There was a young lady on there who was amputee. She had one leg, I think at the knee. And so she had her crutches and stuff, and she made the 3 cuts like Hannah did, but then she didn't make the court. And I was really disappointed, because I think it's so important that everyone is represented, all the cultures, because San Gabriel Valley is a melting pot of everybody. But we've never yet had a different abled person on the court. And that would have been the prime opportunity to see someone on the court that had one leg, the one amputated, and had her crutches or whatever, like really be there. We probably have had some that have different abilities that may not be physically seen like that, but I was rooting for that girl, because I remember I would take Hannah down and, you know, all that and wait. But I was really rooting for that young lady to be actually on the court, and it didn't happen. And I was kind of disappointed in the court, in the board or whatever, like, come on, y'all. When are we going to be progressive enough to say, okay, this young lady is awesome? Because if she kept making the cut, right, then she had different criteria and fell within it. And her and Hannah didn't make the final cut. But I think that would have been an amazing opportunity to say, here's a young lady who has persevered and done all this amazing stuff. She just has a little bit of a different ability, but she's going to be on our court. But that's me.
Yeah, but I mean, we don't know what the criteria was as they were cutting people down. I mean, you know, like eliminating people.
I know.
So
yeah,
I'm sure there was some reason, not her crutches or whatever being an amputee that would have disqualified her. But I can't wait for it either. I mean, just a wide variety of people who actually show up, who actually qualify. That's always good when you get some uniqueness up in there.
And you know what? We're in September, and for them to have this list done already, it's early. It seems like every year it's getting earlier and earlier. But
no, that's usually when they do it in September, when they make the announcement. The past 5 years.
So for Hannah, it was later in October. That's why I said the past few years it's gotten earlier and earlier every year. When Hannah went through, we were not at this final list of 21 before the end of September. It was like almost mid of October. And so that was the 2000, when did she graduate? 15, I think, or whatever. 12. I don't even remember. No, Seth graduated in 15. So she graduated in 2012. And she tried out, I don't know if it was her junior or senior year, but it was later. And it seems like every year it's a little bit earlier in the process. But we also know we start school earlier now in August? Than before. We used to start the Monday after Labor Day.
And Labor Day, yeah.
That was we knew, because it wasn't Labor Day Monday, it was the following Monday. But a lot of schools now are either mid-August or even the day after Labor Day or Wednesday after, like that same week, which to me is bananas. But
they it's getting crazy. Out last day of school used to be the second week of June. You could set your watch by it.
Right, exactly.
Now it's like May 31st.
That's Tina's birthday. That's a great day.
Our prom was was like late May, early June, right before we graduated, and then grad night was after we graduated.
Actually, in the summer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was after. Now everything is done. Like April is prom, May is grad night.
Get out of
Like,
here. We tired of y'all.
Actually, I noticed Arcadia's is actually going to be after graduation this year, possibly, depending upon
Grad
when
night?
they get grad night is, depending upon the confirmation from Disneyland.
Okay.
Because most of them, like you said, they do it so early. It's like, dang, because we look forward to it. When we did grad night, we were truly already grads. We
exactly.
finished with school.
Right, out of school.
done.
Not coming back for the week after
Yeah.
talking about, what did you do when you went?
Yeah, these
I don't
folks
wanna
are coming
see y'all
back
no
and still
more.
got classes. They got finals to take.
Yeah,
we were
and
done.
then we all went to Disneyland. Some of them now don't even go to Disneyland. They go to Magic Mountain because Disneyland for a minute was like, no, we kicking y'all out because you guys are being too unruly and all kind of stuff. But
no, they got it back for a lot of schools. That's what
Yeah.
Arcadia is doing for sure.
that's good.
hmm And they already had their homecoming last weekend.
See, early. Like homecoming used to be October or even November. And now it's
yeah.
just early.
It's
Wow.
not even their last football game. I mean, I've always been used to it being the last football game. You play the same team for your homecoming. It's your rival. These people play a different team. A lot of teams play different teams every year during homecoming.
Well,
And
I think that's because we were spoiled and still are. We have always made our homecoming our rival, which was PHS. A lot of schools outside of Pasadena Unified, they don't have a rival like that. And it comes in, they play whoever, but it's their homecoming game for them. But maybe not even that school's, it is weird.
Mm-hmm.
Because where my oldest daughter, they had a lifetime ban. Yeah, see, Tracy knows from Grand Night at Disney. So they had to do their Grand Night middle of the racetrack. Wow. But yes, Disney banned people. They were like, y'all are getting too unruly. We don't want you anymore. Because even Muir went for a couple of years, I think, to Six Flags or something. But it's nice to hear that they're slowly getting it back. But, Disney's in the hot seat right now with everybody anyway.
Jimmy's coming back tonight.
I know.
I wonder what
But
he's
then
going to
you got
say.
next
Back
star and
tonight.
here that said they're gonna preempt it with something else. I tell you, our rights are under attack everywhere. So everybody should be doing what they need to make sure we're upholding our Constitution and our rights. Because these folks in the office right now are hell bent on us being I can't even say it right now. Authoritative, or yes, even authoritarian state, and them controlling every little thing. Because look at like all the new deal with TikTok and all the billionaires that already have platforms are supposed to get shares in it. Just shenanigans.
Yeah, I will not be downloading that version.
Yeah, I don't have it. I don't have it at all. Never did, never will. But
I will find alternative means.
Right. We'll just keep StreamYard. No. Brian, what you looking at? What you doing?
Research.
Research? That's what we do all the time. Well, Jamal, thank you for the copious announcements. You always do such a great job. No, I'm serious. Because I tell you, when I've tried them, I fumble and everything. And there's a whole lot. And so you do them very well and very detailed. That's why I said thank you for the copious announcements.
You're welcome.
With the Walter Cronkite of the era.
He really is. He's the Walter Cronkite of us. ATF.
ATF Cronkite.
Kind of have to when you're doing the announcements. 'Cause we can be silly. I don't know if they're going to understand some of the stuff we're saying, though.
Don't let me
know. That other announcement, what was that?
That's why you do them and sometimes me. Right. Because he's always going to be silly or something.
So today, brothers, we're going to be over here at,
We're
like
Jamal and I are serious.
Little comedy in it.
Right. That's funny.
Now I was checking updates on all of the stuff that we have filed, that's all.
Okay. Well, we had said, and it was the last announcement. We do have the flyer for the Day of Thanks. So please, if you guys are interested, go ahead and scan the QR code. We're going to start posting it on our different socials, and we're going to do that on a regular. So please join it. Can't wait.
And this, I do want to say this as well. You've heard us talk about a couple of events. We talked about the day that we all go to Steak Corral. It was going to be this Saturday, but the block party is back on, and there's a bunch of other events, so we are postponing that. The barbecue we talked about having on October 25th. That right now is tentative, and the reason I say that is it's turning out to be a much larger scale planning event than the Day of Thanks because of requirements from the county when it comes to food handlers, certifications, insurance, and all that for all the vendors. So if by chance we need to move that date and postpone it, we'll probably do our Steak Corral in October, our Day of Thanks in November, and then push maybe to the spring our barbecue out. So I know that we talked about it and we said we'd have the flyer and the QR code, but I got some other information that it's going to take a little bit more. It's more of a heavy lift. So it might be that we do the Steak Corral in October, the Day of Thanks in November, and then push out the barbecue until spring because we don't want to do anything half donkey. We want to make sure that it's right. I'm trying to watch my mouth, so I just said half donkey. I usually say arse, A-R-S-E, in place of, the other. So, but I knew if I said half donkey, somebody would understand that, and both of you would get a good laugh. So we don't want to do anything half donkey. We want to make sure that it is excellent because it's always for the community. And so just know that if we say we're not going to do it in October, we'll do it in the spring before it's super hot again. But we want to get it right. We might be able to have beer and wine there. So we'd have to have a larger area cordoned off and get the temporary liquor license and all this stuff. So since we met with them last week, I've been doing all my research and talking to people, and it might need a little bit more than a month to plan. So just to give you all an update, we try to be very transparent and honest and upfront with you all always. We're going to continue to push the Day of Thanks. If you plan on attending, can you put that flyer up, Jamal? If you are watching and want to try to scan that QR code, please do. If you want to go and look on the AltadenaTalks community page, please do, because we are capping this at 1,000 people, not families, people. So when you go to the QR code and it takes you to the Google form, you will say what your family size is, whether it's 2, 4, 6, whatever. And I think I have that capped on the Google form at 10. I need to look. But when we get to the number of 1,000, it's being shut down. We're not going to talk about it anymore or anything. And I want to make sure that you all go, because once this gets sent out to the Altadena Rotary Club and the Altadena Town Council and Altadena Heritage, trust me, those people will sign up quickly. And who is it? Eaton Fire Survivors Network with Joy Chin. They will sign up quickly and you won't have any space. Because when we get to that 1,000 people number, that's it. And that's because the gym has a capacity of 530. So we're going to bring the first 530 in, let them eat. And Brian suggested let's do it in 2 settings. But instead of that, because people may not sit for an hour and a half, they may sit and eat and be gone. If it's 2 people or whatever, it might take them 20 minutes or whatever, right? Others may take a whole hour. And so we want to make sure that we accommodate all 1,000 people between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. So that's why we have to cap this and make sure we have all the food, properly ready and all of that. So just wanted to let you know, if you don't hear anything from us about the barbecue, it's because we're going to push it out, but we will let you know. And if so, we'll replace that in October with the day at Steak Corral down in Whittier. Shar, thank you for the valuable information you provided this morning. We appreciate that. And your next comment that says, do any of you know of any legal resources for the civil rights violation during the fire evacuation process, specifically for the West Side Altadenians who did not receive advance evacuation warnings? So I don't know that that's going to be a civil rights violation, to be honest. I would suggest you just talk to an attorney, and especially the wildfire attorneys. LA County was responsible for the evacuation notices, and they did say that there was a breakdown with that system. So everyone knows that. There is a attorneys group that Jamal just gave someone my information, I believe yesterday, that he's been talking to. And when I have the conversation with him, I can ask that. Because they do want to provide, what is it, Jamal? Legal resources for.
Yeah, hold on. Let me bring that response up.
I had it up. So yeah, I don't know if the
here we go.
Evacuation warnings are considered a civil rights violation, Shar. But that would be, or Shar, excuse me. That's something you would need to speak with an individual attorney and ask that.
So basically, the California Association of Black Lawyers is attempting to provide more free legal advice for the Altadena community. So that's possibly a topic that can be brought up with them.
Right.
And perhaps we'll have them on the show at some point, or create, be part of an organization, an event where it'd be more like a town hall where we can ask plenty of questions, what have you. But Toni has to talk to that group, as well as, we just got to get a little bit more information on what they want to do and how they want to do it.
Yep. Once we've done that, then I can definitely speak about it here and say, hey, this is the group, bring them on, the podcast to speak to people, and then say, this is how you can connect with them, whether there's a link or a phone number or a website or whatever. As of right now, we don't have it. So just want to make sure that, we provide you all with whatever resources there are. And as of right now, I've not had that conversation. Jamal just mentioned it yesterday. But again, that would be for you to speak with an attorney, because I don't even know that the evacuations warning are a civil rights violation, because it literally happened throughout all of Altadena. It was not just on the west side. There were people on the east side that didn't get the notification either. And it was a breakdown in the system. Yes, we know that people lost lives, but there were people on the west side that saw the fire and they evacuated, right? They smelled the smoke, they saw the smoke, and they did get out. But we do know, and the county has said, yeah, there was a breakdown in our warning system. Brian was literally over at the Olive Garden in Arcadia, and he saw the smoke when he was driving back, but his notifications were received in Arcadia, right?
Yeah, and then as I got right to Hastings Ranch, I didn't get anything else, and they supposedly have been sending them out for quite some time, so I don't know.
And I think that is because once you have a fire that starts not just eating up hills, but electrical, we had, lots of the electricity pop, but telecommunications equipment burned as well. So if you have the system set up, and maybe, I don't know how it's set up, but if it's not from satellite or something, I don't know. Then if it was part of the telecommunications system and that went down because of the fire, then of course, notifications wouldn't go out. I literally have no clue, but I used to work for the phone company. So that's why I thought about, the telecommunications equipment. But I have no clue about our notification system for LA County, how it went out or anything. But I know that it has been looked at, and they are looking into, what they could do better in the future. But again, that's something that would have to go to whichever attorney. So yeah. So no, everybody did not receive it because we're on the east side of Altadena. And no, that's not true, Shar. I don't, there might have been pockets that received it. My sister, who was directly across the street in Eaton Canyon on Altadena Drive, she saw the fire start. She didn't receive it either. So it's not just about east side and west side that some people did receive it and some didn't. And we're talking about Altadena being the county. Pasadena, they wouldn't send notifications out for. That's a city, and Pasadena has their own thing. So again, we'll get whatever information we can from this attorney's group. We'll share that, as soon as we have it and have talked to them. But we had warnings for almost a week prior, saying there's going to be an extreme wind event coming. I saw it on the news pretty much every day, right? There's going to be an extreme wind event that comes, and they told about how long. We saw that it started in Palisades prior to Altadena. We in Altadena, or Altadenians, never thought that anybody would have to evacuate and be gone like this, or that our town would be gone. Like I said, we've been up there 57 years, my family, and we've done quick evacuations for, a few hours or whatever and gone back. But we're on the east side of Lake. No evacuation warnings came to anyone there. My sister, who lived across the street from where the fire started, did not get one either. So the fact that people keep harping on and saying, oh, the west side didn't get them, but the east side did, is not 100% true. So I think that people have to make sure that they're talking the facts first. And I'm not saying everybody on the east side didn't get them. And I believe there were pockets on the east side and the west side. I've spoken to people on the west side that said they got them. So we don't know really how the breakdown happened, where it happened, who got them and who didn't, unless they truly poll every single individual. But again, when we get the information from this particular attorney group, we will share it, and anybody is welcome to contact them and see whether or not they can help with that. Because I think that, I know there's some groups already looking at it. When I spoke with Carl Douglas, he was talking about it. And that was a few months ago. And he was talking about, we're really looking into these evacuation warnings and why they didn't sound. But again, Brian, being an Altadenian, he was eating lunch in Arcadia at Olive Garden, and he got the evacuations. He wasn't even in the city of Pasadena or the town of Altadena at the time. He was in Arcadia and got them. And he started driving back, saw the fire, and noticed he didn't get any more. So it's just, nobody really knows what the breakdown was.
There was a lot of chaos that night. The cops were doing the traffic with the flashlights, but looking at their phones. So they just had the flashlight down. I'm blowing the horn going, hey, man, can we go? The McDonald's is on fire right here, bro. Can we leave?
Yeah. Crazy. Yeah. It's either way, we're 8.5 months out, and people still don't have the answers. And I continue to hope and pray that through whatever lawsuits or transparency or whatever, people get the answers that they need. Whether it will be the answers they want and that will be suffice or satisfactory to them, probably not ever. But yeah. So you said that was a typo as far as the east side of Pasadena. I'm speaking this text, and may have picked it up wrong. Basically, we're on Glen Rose Ave between Woodbury and Figueroa. About 12 homes in that area burned down, including mine. I just wanted to make that clear. Sure, thank you. But thanks for the information. I'll keep checking to see if there's any updates once y'all have more. Yeah, definitely. I think Jamal gave the gentleman my number yesterday. Jamal, you can shoot it to me. I'll try to reach out to him, or however I'm supposed to, so we can try to talk to him and get whatever information, and I can vet what they, want to do. But, and I'm sorry that you lost your home, Shar, Leona, like so many, we hate it. We hate that our town is gone. Yeah. But that lies on the county and whatever company provided evacuation warnings. And there was an absolute critical breakdown in it. But people in pockets and all in different locations did get the warnings. I know some, like I said, that I know personally on the west side that got them. I know people on the east side that got them. I know tons of people on the east side that did not. And a lot of people were saying, oh, they only took care of the east side where the white people are, from the beginning. That's not the truth either. But if there are people out there that can say that and make it seem like we're all divided, that's what they want to keep the narrative on. And that's just not 100% accurate. So I can tell you personally about that. And again, Brian right here, prime example. He lived on the west side, but he was in Arcadia and got the evacuation warnings. And as he got closer and closer, he saw the fire, the smoke, got over there. He got no evacuation. So I really believe that once that big tower went up in flames, not just the electrical lines, but the telecommunication lines that were around there and attached burned. And that is probably what made the notifications no longer go out. Because if you don't have telecom equipment, nothing's going out.
So if you don't have any power,
right,
towers won't work.
Right. So there's a myriad of factors as to why people didn't. But again, for a week prior, all of us knew it was going to be a severe windstorm. I can always go back to my mom and my sister prior to seeing it start at 6:32 p.m. that morning during her time of meditation. She said she was told in her spirit that she needed to pack a bag because she'd need to leave. She immediately called my mother, who's up on Wapello and Mount Curve, east of Lake, and said, Mom, pack a bag. We're probably going to need to leave later. And my mother packed a little something for her and my father. My mother also sent me this picture of this owl in one of the big pine trees. And I always go back and say that must have been my brother Eric looking out for them, because that owl sat there for hours looking at my mother in her main windows that face the front, her kitchen window and her living room window. And she snapped a picture and I zoomed in. Remember the trees I told you guys that we planted when we were like in 5th and 6th grade in the 70s, 75, 76? No, I would have been 10. So it was probably before that. But anyway, and that owl was sitting up in one of those pine trees, did not move for hours. And my mom said there was absolutely no wind. It was still, it was quiet, almost like earthquake weather. You know how we go, oh, it's too still and quiet. This is earthquake weather. But it was very still. And that owl sat, and she went outside and looked. She looked through the windows, and that owl did not budge and had its head turned. I have it in my phone. I'll have to show it to you guys one day. You could bring it up. But it was the most beautiful, big, majestic owl sitting in the pine trees looking at her. And by 3 o'clock, the winds kicked up. And on the east side, they were already high, probably 60 miles an hour that day. And so it was literally a perfect storm, unfortunately, of dryness, of wind, of power failure, because Edison sent out a notification to people at 8, 9 o'clock that morning saying, is that Brandon? Brandon. There was a notification that morning from
don't pollute.
Owl, yeah, from Edison telling people the power would be shut down, and the power was never shut down. I told you my daughter, my nephew, and my brother were at my parents' house, and the power didn't go off till 9 o'clock that night, 3+ hours after the fire started.
The fact that damn tower was there for over 50 years after it was supposed to be decommissioned and removed is the thing that blows me away.
That's why it's like it's such insult for them to say, oh, we'll give you this much, but we'll offset your insurance. Y'all are 51 years past due. And now on the 1st of October, next week, you're going to have a 9.1% rate hike for Altadenians. Are you out of your mind to offset what they're having to pay out to people? So the system is so screwed up. It's a mess. And it's like, you're going to hike rates on people when you failed to do what you were supposed to and remove that tower 51 years ago. And that's the tower that arced and started the fire.
And I think that's why they're tempting folks with this program.
Exactly.
Obviously, again, as we've said before, check with your attorney. But our opinions are that, hey, if you can hang in there, then hang in there. Don't jump at their offers. But again, you got to do what you have to do what makes sense to you, and definitely check with an attorney.
Yeah.
But yeah, this
and
is
for some people it might be like
crazy.
I said, renters who didn't own might say, okay, the $200,000 for my property, and then another $100,000 for my pain and suffering trauma. That $300,000 I could walk away and maybe go buy something or whatever. Might be good for people. It may not, right? But everybody has to look at what this program is. And the beauty of it is you can put a claim in and you can go all the way through the program or what they're doing and then decide at the end, I'm not going to sign and settle. But you can literally see what the value of your particular situation would be. Take it to your attorney and your attorney say, yeah, go ahead and do this or not, right? And then tell them, nope, I don't want to settle. I'm not going to sign this. As long as you don't do that signature on that, you can go through the whole claim process to see what value they would give you. And for some people, renters, those uninsured or underinsured, you might want to do that. But also consult with an attorney, because once they present to you based on the square footage of the home you lived in and all of that, this program and what the value would be, you talk to somebody, an attorney, and they say, no, because I'm going to get you this much more. But I can tell you this, there was an attorney that Pastor John talked to recently, and he said, I want to know the real deal. Like, what is it that you all are going to be able to do for our community, right? And the guy said, most people are going to get $150,000 to $250,000 from a lawsuit. So I think that also may be why Edison has this program out there, because they know with it being such a big mass tort and everybody's individual torts, y'all ain't gonna get that much anyway, is the impression that I've gotten. So I don't know if their attorneys telling people, oh no, we're gonna get you each $1 million or $2 million or whatever, right? But then attorney's fees come off of it. And this attorney had to be honest because Pastor John was pressing him hard. And he told us this a couple of weeks ago at church. He said the attorney told him, yeah, probably, 300,000 or less, more like 100, 200, 250,000. So for some, it might be worth looking at, file the claim, take it to an attorney, figure out if it's going to be better to settle the claim or not. But again, that's between you and the actual attorney. We can't say for 100% because everybody's situation is different.
I'm glad we brought this up though today, just because I know we had late last week, and it's going to be a conversations that's going to be ongoing. Again, this program is not set in stone. They're wanting some feedback from folks. That's why they have those different workshops. So keep your eyes and ears open. Learn as much as you can. Ask as many questions as you can, and we'll provide as much information as we can related to this topic and anything else we can. But hey, we went 1 hour and 17 and didn't have Jack to say today.
Sure didn't. This was going to be a take a break Tuesday.
And I thought B was going to talk, but this time it was Toni who carried the show.
It's her day anyway.
It was Toni Talks, right?
That is true.
Didn't have an outside.
Thank you, Marcus.
Yeah. That's what we really aim for, Marcus, is just natural, organic, and the way it flows. I was invited to a podcast last week, and the dude sent me like a ton of questions right ahead of time and said, this is what I'll ask you. So when we started it, I was like, no, it's probably not going to go that way, because a natural conversation is not question based. It is organic. It flows organically based on what I say, what you say, back and forth. And so that's what is the good thing, is we do know each other well. We know who the goofball is. We know who the super serious one is. We know who the middle of the road person is. And everybody has their strengths, and we play to that. And yeah, I'm gonna talk and talk and talk. Brian could out-talk me though, y'all. Don't be fooled by it. But on my days for certain, if I have someone I'm gonna interview, and we do really try to keep it organic, because that's what a natural conversation and the natural flow of a conversation is.
Yeah, and specifically that's what we want. There are some podcasts that is not the format they want. So that's not for us. Not given the subject matter, right? It wouldn't work that way. Even when we do have guests, the people that I've interviewed, I let them know, hey, I'm going to ask a little bit about where you're from, what's your connection to Altadena, and this, that, and the other, and we're just going to see where it goes from there. So they kind of know. Because I mean, there's certain things as you interview people, you're going to ask anyway, but to have it so prepared and whatever, it's not a good thing for us, not our format. But anywho, y'all have anything else you want to add today before we?
You said anywho like I normally do. Hey.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now what do we say? What do I say? Toodles.
He does. What about you, B? Got anything?
I can't even see the screen anymore. Something just happened. So I don't have nothing.
Your Brandon's been having tech issues all morning. I got on he was out rebooting. Yeah, all month. And then he came on, and for a good 5 minutes we couldn't hear him, and he had to go get another headset and all kind of stuff. So let's lift Brian up in prayer.
And you see, I look like I'm purple, and I'm using somebody else's headset, and there's a whole bunch of drama going on in my life. I think I need to go to Badass and get a red velvet cookie.
Yeah.
You gonna walk over there? You know what? I'd be mad at Badass Ash because every single time I've been to Pasadena to get a cookie, she's closed.
Yeah, she closed early.
Right, she closed like 4 o'clock. I get there one day. I'm not open today. I closed because I'm restocking. I was like, girl. And so I'm gonna have to be like,
you gotta call in advance.
Right. I'm gonna have to be like, B, when you go, just give me a cookie, bro. I'll get it from you. Because her cookies are fire. But
Shar Leona did mention we may want to mention that all but one of the Edison sessions are full. And you have to sign up, be on the waiting list for the ones that are full. So when you do go to the website and click, I mean, hey, this is such a big deal, over 6,500 homes, homes were lost. So there's going to be a lot of people that want to get a perspective on this. So thank you for that, Shar. And I'm not surprised. So definitely get out there, check it out.
I got my reservation for Monday.
Okay. So here's the website again. On this particular page, no, it's the direct claim updates, SCE. But once you get to the page, it is the Edison Energize, what have you.
Yeah. Edison
but at the bottom of the page, it comes up, or a little bit further down, you can actually click on the one of the workshops. So thank you. Very good point, Shar. But
she's only open from Wednesday to Saturday. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday closed.
Well, thank you. We appreciate you participating.
Badass Bakery.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, y'all.
With that, I'm gonna throw up them deuces. Say peace. Y'all have a great Tuesday. It is, and if you're getting tacos tonight, get some tacos and enjoy it. I will hit the button.
Deuces.
Hit the button.